This is a put a finger down snowflake edition. If you have your one finger down, dude, you're a snowflake. Let's get started.
Okay, let's find out if I'm a snowflake.
Put a finger down if you think people having pronouns in their bio is dumb.
I think it's pointless because unless you're a pre-transition or non-passing trans person, people can tell what gender you are just by looking at you. I'm not going to put a finger down because of those two situations I mentioned where I understand why someone would put their pronouns in their bio. So I'm not going to say people putting their pronouns in their bio is always dumb, but aside from those two circumstances, putting your pronouns in your bio is pointless.
Put a finger down if you just can't stop saying slurs. Too hard, man. I don't know enough words.
Just because someone says slurs doesn't mean they don't know other words that aren't slurs. I used to be obsessed with a movie called Expelled. I watched it about 20 times in a row, but that didn't mean I didn't know other movies.
Put a finger down if you're certain the US 2020 election was rigged. Because there's no way that Trump wouldn't have won.
You mean like how leftists constantly go on about how Trump colluded with Russia? Because there's no way Hillary lost. Also, I'll link a video from Actual Justice Warrior and a video from Lauren Chen in the description regarding the 2020 election allegedly being rigged. I don't know if Biden truly won or not. I'm not going to put a finger down. I'm not going to take the position that the election was rigged or the position that Biden won fairly, but I do recommend checking out Actual Justice Warrior and Lauren Chen's videos about this.
Put a finger down if you're against Black Lives Matter, because all lives matter.
My issue with Black Lives Matter is I reject the premise that black people are being systematically discriminated against by the police. Yes, they get killed by the police at a disproportionate rate per capita. They also commit a disproportionate amount of crime per capita. Also, I don't like all the BLM rioting.
Down if you care more about a clump of cells than an actual full-grown adult woman.
Another thing I really wish pro-choice people would stop doing is referring to fetuses as clumps of cells. Okay, lying to women about what's happening inside of their bodies isn't helping them either. The idea that life begins at conception is often painted to be some religious mumbo-jumbo, but the fact that at conception a fetus has its own unique DNA that is different than the mother's and father's, that's not religious dogma, that's science, and actually fetal development happens fast, a lot faster than I think most people know. 4 weeks from her last period is the absolute earliest that a woman can know she's pregnant, since it's around the time that she would probably be getting her period again if she weren't pregnant. It's also around the time that home pregnancy tests begin being able to detect pregnancy hormones. At 5 weeks is when the circulatory system begins developing. At 6 weeks is when the fetus's heartbeat can be detected. It's also when the nose, mouth, and ears begin to take form. At 7 weeks, the facial features are continuing to come along, and hands and feet are also beginning to emerge. At 8 weeks is when fetuses begin moving, although women won't be able to feel it. And it's also when neural pathways are starting to form. And the fetus also has, quote, breathing tubes that now extend from his throat to his developing lungs. According to to the CDC, in 2014, 65.3% of abortions were performed at this 8-week gestational mark or earlier. At 9 weeks, the fetus's basic physiology is in place and the embryonic tail has disappeared. At 10 weeks, the fetus has fingernails and limbs that can bend. At 11 weeks, the fetus's diaphragm begins to develop. At 12 weeks, doctors are able to identify the fetus's sex organs. By week 12, the fetus will also have intestines in its abdomen. Week 13 marks the beginning of a pregnancy's second trimester, and according to the CDC, 25.6% of abortions take place between 9 and 13 weeks.
Also, I don't care about the unborn child more than the mom. I care about them equally.
Put a finger down if you think masculinity is defined by clothing.
I think that some clothes are seen as more masculine and some are seen as more feminine, but I don't think clothes define masculinity or femininity.
Put a finger down if you think any other religion besides Christianity deserves to be respected.
The words floating above you say, put a finger down if you think any other religion besides Christianity doesn't deserve to be respected. You said, put a finger down if you think any other religion besides Christianity deserves to be respected. Paige, you forgot to say doesn't. All religions are delusional. None of them deserve respect. That doesn't mean it's okay to discriminate against religious people. However, I refuse to respect any religion.
Put a finger down if you think Jesus wasn't a socialist.
He was a communist. I'll link a video from the Progressive Voice going over Sargon destroying Steven Crowder on this topic.
Okay, put a finger down if you think racism doesn't exist anymore.
Racism does exist. A clear example of that is affirmative action, which discriminates against Asians. I'll link a video of mine where I cover Tucker Carlson debating a racist named Jay Chen about affirmative action in the description.
Put a finger down if you think men are just better than women.
I believe both genders are equal.
If you have one finger down, bro, your concepts are so fragile. That's what makes you a snowflake.
Oh no, what's happening to me? Ah! Great. Paige was right. My concepts were so fragile, I turned into a snowflake. Thanks for watching. A link to the original video and links to the videos I showed clips of in this video will be down below in the description. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, share this video, and subscribe. If you dislike this video, leave a dislike. It helps with the algorithm just as much as a like does. Subscribe anyways, and you're a snowflake.